Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And over the weekend we had quite a bit of voting for the questions from last week, and the two frontrunners were Draconum Blade's question about the Ascended Masters and Chrysalo's question about appropriate prayer, and for a while I wasn't entirely sure which one was going to win. But in the end, people's favorite was the question about the Ascended Masters. So Draconum Blade will get a copy of the audio exercises from first and second degree on CD. Congratulations, Draconum Blade, and thank you everyone for wonderful questions. And now we're going to start a new week of wonderful questions, and I want to thank everyone who sends me questions, and I always need more, so keep them coming. Today our question comes from 76 Thurs, and 76 Thurs has a question about what we mean by the term negativity. And he asks, what is the difference between negativity and simply those less than favorable feelings that people encounter in daily life? And I believe that 76 Thurs means this primarily emotionally, but I'm going to answer it energetically as well, and I believe they're the same answer. And what I would say to this is that when we use the term negativity, we don't necessarily mean it in the sense of something really horrible and hurtful, of oogie boogie frightening, nasty energy. Certainly not in the sense of evil, but it can mean a number of different things. Now, occasionally those things can be involved, but generally when we use the term negative energy, we mean energy that is not carrying a positive charge. It can be just kind of muddy, murky energy that's picked up little bits of emotion from all over the place. Often it's described as being kind of gray. It's energy that is not helpful to you, not always necessarily hurtful to you, although too much of it is. It clogs up systems. So it's always good to cleanse the energy, always good to clear out negative energy. But when we say negative, we don't, again, mean that it's like lots of horrible things hanging around you. It's more like a malaise. Occasionally, it can have a really bad charge, but more commonly, it's unfocused. It just kind of slows everything down and gums up the works. And when we're talking about energy, that's most commonly the kind of energy you encounter under the term negative energy. Again, sometimes it will actually have a very negative charge and can be a little bit more of what people think of under the oogie boogie heading, but usually not. So when you clear the negative energy out of the circle, for example, what you're doing is you're clearing out the unfocused energy that would tend to hold back the working you're trying to do, and then you replace it with a positive charge. So that's what we mean by negativity in terms of energy. Now, how about emotion? Well, the same answer kind of obtains. Certainly there are occasions when one's negative emotions are really, really negative. Things like hate, fear, these things are very negative, but they're not the only thing that come under the heading of negative. Again, negativity can also refer to muddy, gummed up, dirty energy, or muddy, gummed up, dirty emotions that are not focused in the way you want them to be focused. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean what people sometimes take the word to mean, but it is undesirable. Because whether we're talking about energy or emotion, when it's full of all kinds of detritus that you don't want, it's much harder to focus it in a positive way. That's why it's so important to cleanse it, both the energy and your emotions, because it's through focusing your emotions that you shape the world. The emotions provide the power for the mental focus. So having them clear is very good and very positive and very important. So when we talk about negative energy or negative emotion, the problem with it is not necessarily that you're going to find yourself in a scene from The Exorcist. It usually is nothing like that. It's more that it slows you down. It interferes with what you want to do. It makes it harder to raise and focus the positive energy that will bring about the things you're trying to do. So normally when we talk about negative energy, that's what we're talking about, and the same with negativity in terms of emotions. It isn't necessarily those really heavy, horrible emotions we're talking about, although they certainly can come under the heading of negativity. But it can be much lighter, but still negative emotions that will actually do you more damage. And by keeping your emotions and your thoughts clear and focused in the direction you want them consciously to be focused in, you'll find that things are much easier energetically and magically. So that would be my answer to the question. I hope you find it helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from witchschool.com. Are you looking for the best in pagan and magical education? With more than 12,000 pages, witchschool.com is like having your own personal library with individual learning assistants to help you study. And Witchschool's Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere education system is available any place on Earth, anywhere you are and anytime you want it, as long as you have an internet connection. Witchschool's lifetime memberships are a great value. They really do last a lifetime. They've been there for years and they'll be there for years to come. So get your membership today at witchschool.com.